Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our show, number 1069, during which we'll hear an audio postcard from the Quino Negro Wildlife Refuge in Costa Rica. We'll talk with our own Freya McGregor about how she's helping more folks gain access to the joys of birding and nature. Plus, as we do our show live here on the first day of winter, we'll get Mike O'Connor's observations about birds joining up in mixed flocks, mixed species, in the wintertime. And now here's that audio postcard.
Good morning, Ray and Talking Birds listeners. Ambassador Jim Randolph here from Quino Negro, Costa Rica. No, they don't have red jungle fowl here, but the King of the Singers does start at 3:30 a.m. Sunrise comes early this close to the equator, and the roosters are up to the task. In the background, you also hear a less than exotic bird, the southern house wren. Another that is neither exotic nor unique to Costa Rica is the great-tailed grackle, but still a beauty in his own right. Another beauty, the great kiskadee and the tropical kingbird are out here singing. My best bird of the trip happens to also be the most beautiful bird of my life, the black-crested coquette. Absolutely stunning. Wishing all of you a blessed Christmas and a joyous and healthy New Year. And Ray, I hope Santa brings you Ambassador number 1001. Until next time, Ambassador Jim Randolph, signing off.
Well, thank you so much, Jim. We'll settle for 1,000, but thank you for that wish there, Jim, there in Costa Rica. We love getting audio postcards from wherever you are, happening to be looking at and or listening to birds. Grab a smartphone if you have one, or borrow one, and just record into the little app there what you're seeing or hearing. Then send the file to ray@talkingbirds.com. That's ray@talkingbirds.com. And that, I believe, is our mystery bird. I'm pretty sure it is. It better be. It's a preview of our mystery bird contest. Coming along a bit later on the show, here's some things about that bird. It's a crow-sized, elegant-looking water bird with a black back and face, white undersides, a long white neck, and a long, thin bill. It feeds on fish, for which it dives in open water, spearing them or grabbing them with its bill. Our bird breeds in the lakes and ponds of the American West and winters primarily off the Pacific coast. Also a rare but somewhat regular visitor to Atlantic shorelines, especially from fall to early spring. That's our bird. The contest coming along a little bit later. We hope when we give the signal and the phone number, you'll give us a quick call. Prizes to brighten up your winter days from Fresh Cut Paper, makers of those beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime. We have a certificate for 5 of those gorgeous bouquets, and yes, they have bird-themed bouquets among their selections, and they have a very small fraction of the carbon footprint, by the way, of imported flowers, and they really are beautiful. And because you shouldn't have to sacrifice style for comfort out in the field, we have a $25 gift certificate for Bird Collective. It's your one-stop shop for vintage-inspired apparel and unique accessories, everything from T-shirts and tank tops to bags and books, and all featuring birds. Prizes there and clues and all that on our Mystery Bird contest coming along a little bit later in the show here. We're about to offer a royal salute to another Talking Birds listener who's become a Talking Birds ambassador, helping us get the word out about the show and about what we're trying to do, which is to spread the word about the wonder of birds and the vital importance of conservation. Meanwhile, we're very close to the end of the year. We're still working toward our goal of welcoming our 1,000th ambassador family member by the end of December. And as we do our show live on the 21st, we are just 5 ambassadors short of that special goal. And helping us to shrink that number to 0 is new Talking Birds ambassador Eleanor from Weymouth, Massachusetts. Thank you, Eleanor. And Talking Birds listeners, will you join Eleanor and become a Talking Birds ambassador right now as you're hearing this, if you can, and maybe become our 1,000th ambassador? Well, we hope you will. And when you sign up, we'll send you a neat little batch of Talking Birds show cards that you can hand out to coworkers, family, friends, neighbors, fellow birders, and would-be birders at your convenience, of course. And that's it. To become an ambassador, just visit talkingbirds.com, ain't no G in talking, and click on the Get Involved tab up there at the top of the home page. That's the Get Involved tab at talkingbirds.com. I want to say a very quick thanks, though, to 7 new ambassadors just in the last, week or so, nudging us toward that goal. We'll thank them in more detail later, but quickly thanking Angela and Kelsey and Ryan and Pat and Lou and Melinda and Ed, helping us to reach, we hope, that goal there, that 1,000-bird goal. Well, still to come today, we'll talk with Freya McGregor about how she's making birding more accessible to all. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike, almost live from the archive, on the topic of birds not of a feather flocking together. And up next, it's today's featured feathered friend, presented by the Bigger and Better BWD magazine, with each large format issue packed with beautiful photographs, illustrations, and in-depth articles ranging from backyard birds to birding abroad. Experience birds up close with BWD at bwdmagazine.com. Well, in honor of our first Talkin' Birds ambassador from New Zealand, thank you, Natasha, we thought we'd spotlight a famous flightless bird from there as today's featured feathered friend. It's New Zealand national symbol, the Kiwi, or more accurately, the 5 Kiwi species. The great spotted kiwi, the little spotted kiwi, the Okarito kiwi, the southern brown kiwi, and the North Island brown kiwi. These chicken-like birds vary in height from about 9 to 15 inches tall, with plumages ranging from reddish-brown to gray-brown, and all featuring a unique bill with nostrils at the tip, which allow them to locate their common prey items like earthworms, insect larvae, beetles, and spiders before they see them. And seeing is not a specialty for these nocturnal birds. Kiwis have the smallest eyes relative to body mass of all bird species. Flying isn't a specialty either. Like their ostrich, emu, rhea, and cassowary ratite relatives, Kiwis have no keel on their sternum that would enable flight. Kiwis' feathers appear more fur-like than feathery, and that characteristic, along with others like a strong sense of smell and marrow-filled bones, have earned each Kiwi species the nickname honorary mammal. Meanwhile, thanks to the bird, the people of New Zealand are famously referred to, and refer to themselves, as Kiwis. Here's the song of a male great spotted kiwi and the response from a female. The 5 species in the genus Apteryx: Australis, Mantelli, Rowi, Maxima, and Owenii. Today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friends, the Kiwis. The 5 species of kiwi. You're on Talkin' Birds, and welcome again to our show number 1069. Freya McGregor, in addition to being a highly valued member of the Talkin' Birds team, is a disabled birder and occupational therapist working at the intersection of accessibility, inclusion, disability, and birding. She's also the author of the forthcoming book, A Field Guide to Accessible Birding in the United States. And through her company, Access Birding, she has created the Certified Access Birding Outing Leader course. And she joins us now to tell us a bit about those endeavors. G'day, Freya.
Hey, Ray. Thanks for having me.
She's from Australia. Well, welcome to the show on this side, Freya. And let's start with some pretty startling statistics that should make it obvious that what you're doing needs to be done. According to research that you were part of, 39% of surveyed birders in the U.S. identify as having a disability. So considering that there are tens of millions of birders in the U.S., that's a lot of people who can benefit from the kind of work that you're doing. I want to ask you about your book. It's getting closer to publication, but first about the course. And tell us what it entails and who is it for?
So the Certified Access Birding Outing Leader course came about because I'd been doing 1-hour workshops and webinars for years about access and inclusion and disability in birding, and the most engaged people at the end would say, that was great, but now I just realize how much I don't really know. And I thought, no, that's not the idea. So this course is 30 hours of instruction over 8 weeks. There's pre-recorded modules featuring a bunch of disabled birders sharing about their own access needs and what they need to feel included in a bird outing. There's instruction about different styles of bird outings, from stationary birding to mindful birding to bird walks. There's a whole lot of other skills and knowledge about disability etiquette, about how you write a good, detailed, effective outing description, how you find locations that are going to meet the access needs of the birders that you're trying to invite birding. And there's weekly live sessions where we get together on Zoom and dig into the topics more and ask challenging questions, and then online community where people can share questions and ask for feedback as well. So it's pretty comprehensive, and I've had a lot of really good feedback from folks saying that it really helped them feel a lot more confident in designing and leading accessible outings for folks with different disabilities.
Well, those comments are clear on your website because there are so many great comments. And one of them is from our friend Jason Hall from the In Color Birding Club, who started that club. He says, in part, regarding the course, it really represents the future of birding. Note that I didn't write the future of accessible birding, but birding. This course should be the standard. There's really nothing else like it. The community in this course was so important. What's your reaction, Freya, to that quote from Jason?
Jason's a friend of mine. We've had him on the show a couple of times talking about In Color Birding Club and the Bird Joe podcast that he co-hosts with Dexter Patterson. And he's one of the guest presenters in this course. He talks about how to be an ally to Black, Indigenous and birders of colour. And when I read, that was in the course feedback form at the end. And when I read that, I teared up. I was sitting here at my desk crying. It really meant a lot from someone who's done so much really impactful work to make birding more inclusive and accessible to Black and brown birders in the Philadelphia area. He's one of my heroes in birding, and that really tells me I'm doing all right with this course.
Indeed. Well, and the course enrollment is open, if I have this right, until January 25th, or unless it fills up before that. So time is getting to be of the essence there. But then you'll have another cohort later. So folks can sign up for, if they can't do this course coming soon, they could wait for the announcement for the next one, right?
Yeah. So cohort 5 will be held on Monday. The live sessions will be held on Monday evenings in February and March. But if that doesn't work for you, or if you need a bit more time to try and get some financial support from your bird club or from your boss to help pay for course fees, it's called a waiting list. There's a waiting list you can just join on the course webpage, and you'll be among the first to know about when the dates for the cohort 6 are announced later in the year, so you can get in there before it's shared more publicly.
All right, and speaking of fees, I know you're excited about this. There's one scholarship available.
Yeah, financial accessibility is a thing, and disability is expensive. And representation is so important, and lots of disabled birders would make fantastic accessible bird outing leaders, but can't afford this fee or don't feel confident yet leading accessible bird outings. So thanks to the generosity of Zeiss, we have one scholarship place available in cohort 5 for a disabled birder who couldn't otherwise afford the volunteer level course fees and doesn't have any other financial support to pay for course fees. So there's more information about that on the course webpage too, and how to apply for that scholarship.
All right, we'll run that website by again in a minute here. But so for folks who are wondering, is this for me, want to learn more and then to sign up, what's the way to do it?
accessbirding.com. It's the homepage. You'll find a link right there to the Certified Access Birding Outing Leader course page that has a lot of information about the course and what's involved and who is instructing it, and there's these different course fee tiers, because that makes it more equitable for people who have maybe access to different resources. And from that page, you can get to information about the scholarship opportunity as well.
All right. Only a minute left here, Freya, but give us a quick thumbnail if you would. We'll talk more about this in the future, about your book, A Field Guide to Accessible Birding in the United States. We publish next fall.
Yeah, so it's been 3.5 years of 200 days on the road, traveling all over the lower 48, trying to find the most accessible, most spectacular birding locations in the US. And it's everything submitted to the publisher, Princeton University Press, which is thrilling, and it will be published, I just found out, in January 2027. So stand by. I'm very excited that it will be really helpful for a lot of birders with disabilities who don't know where they can go birding in a way that's effective for them.
Freya McGregor, in addition to being a member of our Talkin' Birds team, works at the intersection of accessibility, inclusion, disability, and birding. And she's the author of that forthcoming book, A Field Guide to Accessible Birding in the United States. And she's the creator of the Certified Access Birding Outing Leader course. That website, again, accessbirding.com. Freya, thanks for being on the show, and we'll talk soon.
Cheers, Ray.
Freya McGregor here on Talkin' Birds. Up next, it's our mystery bird contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. Here's a sound again of that mystery bird. Our mystery bird contest, something we do each week on the show, and give away some beautiful prizes, which we'll describe again in a moment. Our mystery bird is a crow-sized, elegant-looking water bird with a black face and back, white undersides, a long white neck, and a long thin bill. It feeds mostly on fish, for which it dives in open water, spearing them or grabbing them with its bill. Our bird in the U.S. breeds in the lakes and ponds of the American West, winters primarily off the Pacific coast, sometimes visits Atlantic shorelines. It's been described as a rare but somewhat regular visitor to the East Coast, especially from fall to early spring. Some details about our mystery bird and beautiful prizes as we describe to brighten up your winter days. From fresh cut paper, those beautiful floral bouquets, and we have 5 of them, and believe me when I tell you, they are really beautiful. Fresh Cut, by the way, partners with 1% for the Planet, whose members contribute at least 1% of their annual revenue to environmental causes. And that $25 gift certificate for Bird Collective, those vintage-inspired apparel items, everything from T-shirts and tank tops to bags and books, and all featuring birds. Details there on our Mystery Bird Contest, and the important part is for you to call us as soon as you can. At this number, I'll give it twice, 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900. Mike O'Connor's Let's Ask Mike, almost live from the archive about those mixed flocks of winter birds. Let's Ask Mike in just 1 minute.
A gentle breeze blows across your face as you take a refreshing sip of water, appreciating the stillness of another morning fishing on the lake. The distant gurgle of a stream reminds you of days spent playing in the creek, the cool, clear water rushing between your toes. You love this time with nature, the feeling of putting everything on hold to connect with the world around you. Now, imagine it's all gone. No fish, no lake, no water. One of life's most vital resources, irreplaceably depleted. Time is running out to protect fresh water, and without our love, it can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our fresh water. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Mike O'Connor is there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod, where the sun is always shining, although I'm hearing complaints about clouds. I don't know if that's really true, but
that's just a rumor, right?
Just a rumor. Thank you for confirming that, because that would change everything. I mean,
did you just say the word wintership? Did I hear you say?
Kind of just made that one up. Yeah. What do you think?
That's pretty good. Yeah. The dictionary just got a new entry for 2025.
Well, they're always looking for new words, so we're happy to help. We can help add a new one.
Oh my God.
So mixed flocks of birds. So we hear about mixed flocks, and this happens, certainly not in breeding season, right? Because birds are a little bit antagonistic to one another generally in breeding season, but in the winter it's different. And what happens?
Yeah, well, I think we all know the classic flocks of birds, those giant flocks of starlings that we see, or Canada geese, and they move. And birds flock for assorted reasons. Starlings, I think, to avoid predators. You get that giant murmuration of starlings moving around, and if a merlin or a falcon wants to pick one off, that's all that craziness going on, and they can't focus on the bird. And I think Canada geese, which don't have a lot of big enemies, but they do migrate in flocks because it helps conserve energy when they make that classic V. Other ducks do a single line where they fly behind each other, and it helps conserve energy by getting the draft of. But other birds, and pretty common throughout the world, that birds in the winter, like you said, forage in mixed flocks. I think here in the suburbs, we're familiar with the more traditional birds like nuthatches, which is just landed on my feet now, white-breasted nuthatch, and chickadees and titmice and downy woodpeckers and kinglets and creepers. They all seem to hang around together a little bit in the wintertime, and they call this mixed flock foraging. And kind of the reason they think they do that, because as opposed to a single flock a single species flock like the starlings, these birds, every bird brings a little bit something to the table, some advantages. One of the advantages they do have, they all forage differently. So a nuthatch comes down the tree looking for food, where a creeper goes up the tree looking for food, where the woodpecker drills into the tree, and birds like kinglets eat off the branches. So they're feeding together, but they're not going for the same food source or the same area looking for the food. And the other advantage is that certain birds like chickadees are typically non-migratory, so they know the area, they know the hood, so they know where the food is, and so the other birds take advantage of the chickadees' ability to find food in an area, and they follow the chickadees. And the titmice, which are super aware, wicked aware of what's going on around them, they're like the sentry birds, and they know what's going on. So birds like downy woodpeckers, for example, they spend more time foraging when there's titmice in the flock, because they know they'll sound the alarm a little bit quicker than than if they were just feeding by themselves. So the mixed flock is a way of, and you know, it's not just, I mean, that's the birds we know, but in the tropics, some of our migrating birds go down in the tropics and they hook up with the local birds where they take advantage of those skills down there. And it's just the same way. I mean, like in my business, you know, I hire all people, but everybody has a little bit different role. I got big guys to carry the bird seed. I got some artsy folks who make the displays. I got some eggheads that know all about the birds, and then somebody like myself is, you know, just the eye candy. So it's all good mixture.
Right, you got it all figured out. You have your own mixed flock right at the Birdwatchers General
That's
Store.
right, the mixed flock.
That is pretty good. Mike, thanks for all that for all that info.
It's well worth it, wasn't it?
It's just
all right, we'll talk to you next week, Ray.
All right, thank you, Mike. Mike O'Connor. That music is so loud. Mike O'Connor down there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod, where it's always sunny, except for today. There's Mike, serving his eye candy there at the Birdwatchers General Store. And we're back to the Mystery Bird Contest with just a couple of minutes to identify this mystery bird. Take advantage of these really beautiful prizes. Those beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets from Fresh Cut Paper, 5 bouquets, and a $25 gift certificate for Bird Collective, one-stop shop for vintage-inspired apparel, all featuring birds. And our bird is a crow-sized, elegant-looking water bird with a black back and face, white undersides, a long white neck, and a long, thin bill. Feeds on fish, for which it dives in open water out in the west, spearing fish or grabbing them with its bill. 781-837-4900 is the number. That's 781-837-4900. And Larry is on the line, and maybe he has the answer for us there. Hello, Larry. Maybe Larry's not on the line, but I think he's on there somewhere. Are you there, Larry? Hello, Larry. We see Larry on the thing. I think he's there now.
Hello, are you there?
Hello, Larry. Yes, we're here. We're all here. You sound a little gravelly there, Larry. Nothing personal. I'm sure it's just the phone connection you have there.
It's the least bitten.
It's the least bitten? Oh, I thought you were talking about your phone there. But the least bitten is, according to our information here, is not exactly correct, Larry. But that is a top quality guess. And since we're
Can I get a second one?
Since we're so short of time, yes, you can have a second try.
Let's see. It's the heron.
The heron. Okay.
It is the black-crowned night heron.
Black-crowned night heron. That's a very specific answer there now, but unfortunately, neither one of those answers is exactly correct. And since we are so short of time, we're going to reveal the answer and declare you the winner nonetheless, Larry.
Great.
And the actual identification of the bird is the western grebe. Western grebe. But that's okay. Larry, you're the winner by some process that we just came up with there. And if you'll stand on the line, we'll even arrange to send you those beautiful prizes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Larry. The western grebe is our mystery bird. And with that, we find ourselves out of time for this morning's show. Well, we want to mention, if we may, one more time that we are so close to our magic number so that we can welcome our 1,000th ambassador member by the end of December. Ambassadors helping us spread the word about our show so we can tell more folks about the wonder of birds and the magic of, not the magic, but the vital importance of conservation, this kind of magic. In any case, we are all out of time. It's the 21st as we do our show live. Merry Christmas to all, and thanks to our great Talking Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
The Bird Show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.